All right, are you ready to know the difference between a two-leg balance, one-leg balance, bent leg, and a trail leg? Then stay tuned because this is what you're going to learn today in this lesson, and I'm going to fix the difference in the sway that everybody thinks that I'm teaching. Okay? So here we go. When you have two sockets here, you cannot turn on both like that. You will do this, okay? And that is reverse pivot, and actually reverse hip tilt. Butt goes over here, head goes over there. If you take your pelvis to this leg, this is called a 1 foot balance. I have now can turn on this socket. That is not a sway, because the difference of a sway and not is if I have a 2 foot balance that is wide and I try to push my pelvis over, I now am swaying because I have pressure here, no matter if I move my foot or what. So if you're doing a compound pivot, you cannot stand wide. You cannot get your pelvis outside your foot and your head on center and pick up your foot. That is a sway. That is correct, okay? There are some dodos that are sitting there saying, I don't know what I'm talking about, and this is the worst thing ever that you can do, shift your pelvis over to the side, okay? Just because you're unintelligent, right? I understand it. You're trying to criticize me. Hey guys, go to golf, WRX, and type in Roger King, and there's a whole big comment section about it. Why don't you tell the golf pro there that was telling me that he didn't understand? So watch, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna throw you under the bus. You're gonna talk bad about me just because you're unintelligent? I'm gonna try to fix it, okay? So here we go. Right here, both legs flexed, pelvis goes out, that's a sway. I have weight here. When you stand narrow enough, you roll your left foot, your pelvis goes out. Now watch this. Now that's called a 1 leg balance. Now I can turn. So that is what Sam Snead did, Jack Nicklaus did, Bobby Jones did. These are all classic players that shifted and then turned. That's a compound pivot. Now, there are other players that can be bent leg, and they are world-class ball strikers, George Knudson and Mickey Wright. Now, why did I use them? Because they do not try to do anything with their hands and their arms. They literally say almost the same things in their books. Hell, I'm not that old. I didn't meet them or know them. Okay? And they both have their toes slightly out, and they both keep this leg bent. Now, what they do is they roll their left foot into their right, just like a compound pivot. But because the leg is bent, the head has to move a little bit with it. And then George Knudson would say that his head just would go where it wanted to go. And so, therefore, he was loaded in this leg right here. His foot stayed on the ground, right? And you can see how my leg is flexed, and then the right foot pushes the left foot down, which is going to create a little more torque and a little more slide. Not much. And then from here, you're going to be you're going to be down in the left-hand side. So you'll see how both legs are bent a little bit more compared to, say, the compound pivot where the legs straighten. So, but you can see how my hands get deeper and deeper into this position. And then when it finishes, you'll be up here on the left-hand side. So anybody that wants to kind of learn to swing like a Mickey Wright or a George Knudson, you still roll your feet, but your leg stays bent. So it looks like this. It's also kind of what Jimmy Ballard was talking about when he was talking about how the elbows and the arms and the chest. And that's also this little bucket of water motion that I talk about, or a medicine ball. So this leg is bent. That's fine. There's lots of players that I teach that have a bent trail leg. They physically can't straighten it. Not a big deal. This is messages for you guys. So you can still roll your feet, okay, and have the bent leg, trail leg. Just know that your head is going to freely move off the ball. Now, if that happens, the first move can't be keep your head still, right? Then you're underneath the plane, like that. So you have to now roll your right foot to push the left foot down, And you'll see that that brings the golf club back out in front of you from here. So once you're here, then the club releases. Now, when I say that, and I'm using this whip to kind of show you without a club face and all that, just the shaft angle. So when I'm doing this, I'm not manipulating this with just hands and arms. You can, right? But then the body doesn't, it has to respond. So when I'm doing this, if you're gonna do a bent leg, trail leg, this toe and heel has to be outside your shoulder. And the reason why is because you want to be able to finish on a flat left foot. It's what Hogan did, and that's what Knutson did, and that's what they both did. So, contrary, and I have to have a little insert on this, is after watching Ben Hogan a bunch more, he's not lead leg. He was trail leg. And I'll kind of try to explain it. So he was here, and he has this little trigger that he goes into, and then as he is pushing into the ground right here, and his golf club and his shaft goes here, his leg then straightens, and he's pushing his whole right foot into his left. And what that does, okay, I want you to see that, because so what that does is that then he would then shallow it this way, and then he would then pop. So he actually wasn't over here on his lead leg. So had to kind of watch a bit more of that to kind of see. And so believe it or not, him and Knutson had similar properties. The only difference is that Hogan had a little more of a, what I call a shallowing move, where Knutson would do the exact same, but then as he just pushed his right leg, his arms just fell straight down. So where Hogan would kind of go, because of his grip, possibly, that he would go just a little bit more inside, and he would have that little under move. That's the biggest difference between that. And then Mickey Wright, who was world class, she literally just kept the shaft the same from here to here and did it all through the feet. So if you'll see, these are two different motions, here and here. So the big toe doesn't move in this loading process of a bent leg, trail leg, okay? So when you go from here and you push the right foot to push the left foot pushes away, and you can clearly see that my leg is bent here and that my knee is going now, starting to go over my left, and I'm not doing anything with my hands and my arms, and they're literally just following the mass, okay? Totally different than the compound pivot, which you have to stand narrower, you have to make a walking motion, and looks like this. So you can clearly see these are two totally distinctive different motions. You cannot mix them. If you get wide, you cannot compound pivot, right? And if you get narrow, then you should not have a bent leg. So I really hope that helps to do that, to understand that. Yeah, I got a little on my soapbox for somebody talking bad about me, and I know that's the internet. But what you think you do and do are two different things. So a lot of my students come see me, Zoom lessons, impersonal, and my video analysis, which again, I think my video analysis membership site's the best, because you can do up to 8 times in the month where you send me videos, chat with me, you can ask me questions anytime. I'm available almost 24/7. I do sleep some. And go from there. And I teach people all over the world, so I get messages all the time from all different kinds of places. I enjoy doing this and helping you guys. That's what I'm here for. So go to rkswingking.com for that, and I will do the best I can for you. So, and as usual now, God bless, because he's given me this to give to you guys and to spread the word about him. So thank you very much, and everybody have a great day.